We're going to talk for the next couple of minutes about aspiration of a foreign object. Aspiration doing with breathing, and a foreign object meaning something solid or liquid that is taken into the airway when it's supposed to go down the throat and into the esophagus and stomach. Basically, when a foreign object is aspirated, it either partially or completely obstructs breathing. This is most commonly seen in children. I know from my own childhood, I was running around the house with a lifesaver in my mouth, aspirated it, it fell down into my throat and blocked the airway, but thankfully lifesavers, it's ironic that it would be called that, have a hole in the center of them, so I was able to breathe somewhat until the object could then be removed from my throat and I was able to swallow it normally. So children very commonly aspirate foreign objects. Infants sometimes aspirate their baby food, things like this. It's also found in patients and the elderly who have dysphagia or other issues related to swallowing that might be the result of, say, a minor stroke, things like this, so that they have difficulty swallowing and therefore they may aspirate or breathe in food, liquids, things like this. So anytime that a foreign object has been aspirated, some of the symptoms of this would include wheezing, stridor, things like this. It can be heard throughout the lung, and they would have persistent coughing and would complain of basically something being stuck in their throats, which it actually is. So there's the wheezing, the feeling of something stuck in their throat, persistent coughing. They probably aspirated something and maybe weren't aware of it. The airway is possibly partially blocked, but if it becomes fully blocked, that's critical as it leads to respiratory arrest. So basically, when you're examining, you need to find out how much blockage there is, try to calm the person, and then move to treatment. The basic treatment is to remove the obstructing object in one form or another. In minor cases, this is fairly easily done sometimes with a hand sweep, a finger sweep, or other methods of getting more liquids to pass or whatever. But in more severe cases where there's full blockage of the airway, you may have to go to the Heimlich maneuver, getting behind the patient, arms around beneath the sternum and pulling up forcefully, forcing air out and up, expelling the object, hopefully. And in the most extreme and severe cases, a tracheostomy may be necessary where you go below the obstruction, open a hole, and using some sort of tubing or opening to allow air to come into the airway below the obstruction until it can be surgically removed. So once again, aspiration of a foreign body, commonly seen in children, also in patients with dysphagia, elderly with perhaps minor strokes that affect their ability to swallow. They aspirate food, water, other things. There may be a persistent cough, a feeling like something's stuck. There's wheezing, stridor, things like this. In the severe cases, there's complete blockage, which leads to respiratory arrest. Treatment is removing the object with a sweep, finger sweep, or Heimlich maneuver, and in the most extreme cases, a tracheostomy. If you'd like to learn more about this, underneath this video, you'll find a link. Click on that link. It'll take you to the website where you can get that information. And on that website, you'll also find a link to an ebook that's ready for immediate download.